everyone wanted me to get beat. I had loads of pressure on me, people would watch, but I always remember everyone wanted me to get beat. My favourite fight was actually DeGale. I used to not like you for no reason whatsoever.
Brilliant.
Yeah, and that's the end of the show.
Yeah. I believe I can really do something, so that is my goal this year, to announce myself onto the boxing scene as a top prospect, regardless of the name.
This is the George Groves Boxing Club. I am George Groves. I am with Dec as ever, and today we are with a sibling of an ECM. It is, of course, the brilliant William Crolla. Yeah. Welcome to the club, mate. You are now part of the club.
The club.
Yeah, joining your brother, or is it dad, Anthony?
I know, yeah. I don't mind. It doesn't really mind to me, but he's
what is the age gap between you two?
Yeah, what's the age gap?
12 years it is. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Britain's youngest dad, I think.
That was I got to say, that was my employers as well, Boxing News, who wrote that. We should know. Did
you write it?
No, it wasn't me. It was a caption. I don't do captions, Anthony. It wasn't me. And they were like, yeah, Anthony and his
I think it's
and his son are fucking brilliant. But yeah, you're not at first. I was thinking, are you the first brother? We had the Azeems in, didn't we?
Yeah, we had them on together
at the same time, but we've never had two.
We had the Sowlers on together, but not one after the other.
No, and you're, because of the age gap, it's a reasonably unusual sort of boxing relationship you have, in that he's your trainer.
Yeah,
and that doesn't happen often.
No, yeah, it was obviously a mistake, wasn't it? 12 years, the gap and everything, but
I wasn't going to say.
I cleared the elephant in the room. But no, yeah, it's a weird one. It is. It's really weird, because do we grate on each other a little bit? Yeah, like siblings do. And obviously, you know yourself, George, like in a gym, you don't answer the trainer back or whatsoever. Sort of like a private answer back that I'd give when no one's there. Say I disagreed with something where no one, because you know it is, you would never answer your coach back. So mine would be more of like a private disagreement we'd have within the gym, within the group, so everyone would probably know.
Yeah.
So because when he came on, Anthony, he did mention you. He said my younger brother was about to start. I don't think you had a pro fight at that point.
When was he on?
It was a good couple of years ago.
Months ago. Oh yeah. I might have just been coming back. I might have put in 15.5 stone as well. Probably thought I was lying. Yeah.
So you boxed before. You boxed as an amateur.
Yeah.
And then you wanted to
40 bout. I had 40 bouts as an amateur. I was a good schoolboy, to be honest, and that was part of the reason I sacked it off. I used to get no luck with getting picked for England, and I'm like, you'll know yourself, it's everything, isn't it? At that time, getting picked for England, it never happened. Then I got little injuries, and then discovered beer, and then just vanished off the face of the earth. come back fat, and then just started eating pads, trying to lose a bit of weight. Got sharp on the pads, saw the lads sparring. I thought, I'll jump in for a round. Jumped back in for a round, stayed in for another round. Then I just got the bug again, and then I've not lost it since.
With the age gap, was there pressure from where your brother was and what he was doing? So maybe when you first started, he was probably already a pro. As you were starting to do, maybe wanting to box for England, he might be fighting for world titles.
Everyone wanted me to get beat. When you think, there's always like a thing, like I had loads of pressure on me, people would watch, but I always remember everyone wanted me to get beat, and people would watch because I was Anthony's brother. I'd sort of didn't have to be good, but I imagine some of the other boxing siblings had the thing, people expected something of you, which I actually like. I like the added pressure, but I always remember, like, as a kid, I remember one lad thinking, I hope you get... One lad said it to me, it stuck to me. I was boxing at Everton Park in the schoolboys, and I just overheard it. It's like, there's Crolla's brother, I hope he loses. And I thought, thanks.
Yeah, so maybe that was the first time they ever registered with you.
Yeah. Like, the brother never even met me. I thought,
what a wanker.
Yeah, I hope he loses. Yeah, so when you were first in the amateur club, how old were you? How young were you?
I was 8 when I started going to the gym with him.
Okay, so Anthony was, 20 by then?
Yeah, he'd been pro. Yeah,
8 plus 12 Commonwealth.
20.
Yeah.
Perfect. That's an A star. So he was 20. Yeah, but it could be 19 or it could be 21. Anyway, the point is he was established a name on the circuit in Manchester, like everyone knew him.
Yeah. It would have been,
Yeah. So it brings it a pressure from the age of 8. Like, as well, the coaches would have known as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, most coaches. He sort of always pretty much coached me. Like, it's the only thing I've actually ever knew. Like, he's genuinely literally has been the only person who's taught me anything in boxing, because I've just had him all the way through.
Oh, wow.
He's the nicest guy in boxing as well. But is he nice to you?
Nah, I don't think that. I think no, we're very different people, me and Anthony.
Yeah, I heard this.
Like,
Dom said that. He said he's like. He said you're like Anthony, just you're the angry one.
Yeah, like chalk and cheese. Like, I'm polite of anything, but then even in the ring, my mannerisms are a lot different to his. And then out of it as well, like if I don't like you, you'd know. Like I won't have many friends from boxing, whereas Anthony's got a whole bunch of friends that he's gained from boxing. I don't believe I'll end my career the same.
No, I'm sure you will. But you make new friends after boxing. That's what I'm trying to do now.
Yeah, he's still struggling with that. One or two.
Oh, wow. So, massive influence on you. And did you end up like studying these tapes, or just obviously you're gonna be watching your brother? But do you ever think, that's good, or do you ever think that's fucking wrong, mate? I'm not doing that.
Do you know what? I've always thought, and I think something, I will say it. I never thought Anthony had the best technique or anything like that. And you'll like this one because it's pretty funny. My favourite fight was actually DeGale, James DeGale.
I was going to bring this up.
Yeah,
but go on.
It was James DeGale, and I used to not like you for no reason whatsoever. Was the only thing. I remember Anthony took me to when you beat him for the British title. I was gutted. I remember being gutted. I remember one of the lads in the gym. You was one of their favourite fighters, and I was like, he's not even good. I just denied your ability just on the fact I was brainwashed by him being one of my favourite fighters. So I used to watch DeGale all the time. That's why I started switch hitting, because I originally started as an orthodox fighter, and then I thought, if he's doing it, I want to do it.
Brilliant.
Yeah, and that's the end of the show. No, I read it in the Boxing News, and you did the 60 seconds. Come out as well, then. And I was going to put it to you. Yeah, you said that you were gutted when George won.
I was gutted, and then like, as I've got older now, like happened again, I'd be dying for you to win. Like it's the way I just got older and matured. But and I remember being there, I was gutted. I went home. I probably cried on the way home or something.
Oh, I'm sure James did too. They, shout out DeGale.
Yeah.
No,
Come on, James.
He had a lovely style, and you could see why a lot of people loved it. Do you know what I mean? And he very gracious, nimble, move around the ring, switch hit, slapped a bit, but
couldn't beat you either, could he? Twice.
Yeah, but that's hard to do at times. But so you're studying DeGale, and just saying, was you trying to tell Anthony he needs to box more like DeGale?
But one thing I just took from Anthony, and I've always took, was just the way he carried himself as a professional. Like, you've got to put 100% into everything. And then I learned that my hard way as well in the amateurs, because I used to beat most kids just off sort of natural ability. Then as you get older and the rounds get older, the strong fit kids used to always beat me, and I just go home and think, I've just lost to him, and then I just carry on doing what I was doing and just plod on. I sort of lost love for it. But then as I got older and then I've matured, that's the thing I did take from Anthony. Like, you've got to live and breathe boxing. If you want to do anything, like, it is your entire life, innit? You've got to put 100% into everything. And since I've come back, that's exactly what I've done.
How long was that gap then between that walking away from the sport and then coming back now as a pro?
My last fight was at 15, and I had an amateur bout at the start of last year against an 80 bouter, just because a bit of a boxing ego. I've always thought, I'm not fighting. I had 40 bouts on my card, so I couldn't have boxed a novice anyway. But in my head, I was still one of the better kids in England. Like, don't know why I thought that, but in my head, the boxing ego, I thought that. I come back, I got beat, and then I went to one. I went, I can't learn anything more now. Like, this is too fast paced for me, this amateur game. I want to turn pro, and I'm all in, and then that's what we've done since.
So did you ask him to be your trainer, or did he say, well, you got to
you sort of said to prove it, like he said, like, we'll do it, but you've got to give everything. I stopped going out. I said I was living a bad lifestyle away from boxing, whatever comes with going to the pub. Like I say, I was scaffolding, dinner time pints, stuff like that, and as you said, you have a massive lifestyle change, and it's happened.
It must have been hard though, with what, best part of 10 years away from the sport. Yeah,
it did. And then, do you know what, I picked up keeping fit habits, do you know, like on the bag and stuff like that. It took ages to iron them out.
What, like?
Just like, let's say lifting my chin up, or I'd just lose concentration mid-minute when you're and just keeping fit. Just little stuff like that, which, in all seriousness, now I finally feel like I've ironed them all out, and I'm where I wanted to be 11 months ago when I made my debut. Like, looking back there now, I feel like a complete different fighter. But now I feel finally where I'm at, sharp. Everything's just where it should be now.
Do you have that feeling of you got like to make up for lost time? because you've been out of the gym.
Yeah, like saying, I feel like it's finally happened now. I feel like I am ready now to do what I believe I always thought I'd be able to do, and that is do something in boxing. Otherwise, I would not be here, because it's a lot more easier careers.
Yeah, definitely.
What were you up to then? So Anthony's obviously like steaming along in his career, becoming one of the most loved Manchester fighters, even most loved in Britain, really, and fighting for world titles and whatnot. How does that feel? Like, obviously, a proud brother, I'm sure, watching it, but was there a bit of like, oh fuck, I wish I was sort of stuck at it?
I was just riding the back out of it. The 3 bars there. It was, like, say, 15 and a half stone. I was elite on the session. Like, I could put my beers away, and then
pound for pound,
yeah. And but yeah, there was times in that where I thought, like, they flutter in my head whether to come back, and then all of the pretty much boxing siblings come, pretty well siblings or family, Ben, Eubank, Campbell. I just thought, I may as well. Like everyone else, I was like, this is, if there's ever a time I was going to do it, it is now.
Yeah.
What was the best night for you watching your brother? Because he had some big ones. Was it the Barroso one, or where else did you go to? LA?
John Murray was a good night.
Oh yeah, that was good.
At the arena. When he beat Gavin Rees was a good night as well. But funny enough, I hated it. Just after that, I started hating watching him. As I got older, the nerves I used to get for him fighting was the worst. Like, I remember crying shortly before the Vasyl Lomachenko fight, because not like that, I think I don't know boxing. I knew he was going to get beat, but I thought he'd get beat on points, but not how he did. But as he started fighting them elite level fighters, it's a dangerous game, isn't it? Like, the trained killers, and as it got to that point, I started hating it. The Barroso fight was an hard one to watch, because I remember he had this weird thud from ringside him. He was in a little pair of Reyes. He had this weird thud, and I thought, wow. How are you even soaking this up? I thought, like, gained major respect points at Hanson off me for that. But that was probably the most proud night I've ever been, when he defended his world title. Yeah. Because I didn't want him to be, not in a fickle way in boxing, but I believe you're a world champion when you win a title and defend it. Like, you don't want to lose it on the first defence, do you? So I was just praying on anything. Like, just let him defend it once. Just let him defend it once. And then, that'll probably be the proudest night of him.
Yeah, and the 2 Linares nights as well. Didn't go his way. The first one was an amazing fight. Second one, he's pulled away a bit, but just unbelievable events for the city.
No, yeah, the first one, I remember him fighting for the Ring magazine. Like, I remember we used to play Fight Night. Did you ever play Fight Night? I was like, oh, imagine just fighting for like the Ring magazine or something like that. Then I remember when they told me, I was like, wow. And I really believed he was going to beat Linares that night. I thought, Linares, he starts feeling sorry for himself in some fights, and I believe he was just going to that and he was just going to coast, and then he caught him, and I think it was a 6. He made Anthony do a funny dance, and then it took so much out of him, and then Linares won the first, and the second one, I believe a few things was wrong, but Linares was great that night.
When you think about him as like a mentor or boxing mentor, he's obviously seen it all, done it all.
Yeah.
Like, what's he telling you? Like, what's the advice he's giving you at this point? Like, he's been in your shoes. Yeah. What's he telling you now?
It's a weird one for me, because, like you say, like, I'll only ever look at him as my brother. So even though I've always had it a lot, like, oh, imagine that being your brother, must have been, but I literally only ever look at him as my brother, not what he'd done in boxing. But the only thing he's ever told me is to enjoy it. Like, if you don't enjoy it, there's no point in doing it. And that's the best piece of advice he's ever given me.
Yeah, because you see a lot of like father-son, or maybe even father-daughter relationships now. But obviously, as a dad, you have a sort of a natural authority, don't you? And a big brother, you have the same, but it's not quite the same. Like, you can answer your brother back like you wouldn't answer your dad back. And I know Barry McGuigan worked with his brother, and so it's happened through time. But maybe with there being like 12-year gap between you, that it might almost blur the line. Do you ever think like, oh, he's talking to me like he's my dad right now?
Yeah.
And does that sit comfortably with you?
Yeah, a lot. But then I imagine he'll like, who's he speaking to? Like, why are you even replying to me like that? Like, there'll be times, mainly sparring. I don't know how I used to say, I have in my head what I'm going to do for the round, or in my head, then if someone's telling you something different, and I won't want to listen. I'll just take my water and walk off and get called back to the corner about 6 times for him to tell me it. So mainly when we're sparring is probably when we're great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a hard one, isn't it?
Well, it happens like sometimes you want to be a bit stroppy with your trainer. But then you just got the added thing that you're training your brother.
Yeah. So it just adds to it even more. Like I feel like I can be stroppy.
Did you like grass on him to your mum and that?
Yeah,
he can't be a prick.
That's how we'll know. Like I'm really stressed out. Like if my mum rings him and says, "Why is this happening? Why is this happening?" If my mum tells him,
yeah, she's still the boss.
Yeah.
So you come back, you have the amateur bout. So is Anthony your trainer then? Like when you come back, that was the setup.
Yep, that was the setup. He was training me for that. He used to do most of my amateur corners as well.
Okay.
And I think they changed it where you can't do it when you was a pro.
Yeah.
So then someone else pretty much just stood in for him. And then, but he'd just shout really loud from ringside. So it's basically like he was coaching me anyway. Or just look out the ring to sort of where he was, just to take his advice. Like he's literally it's quite a weird one. Like I said before, the only person who I've ever took boxing advice off. So it's just the norm. Like, I couldn't imagine training with someone else. I tried it for a little bit, and that's just before I walked away from boxing, so it obviously didn't work.
Yeah. So he would have been boxing when he was coaching you before, like when you was a kid?
Yeah, I remember he was English champion. I think he was English champion for most part, where I was still boxing in the schoolboy stuff like that. He was English champion. I remember boxing in the schoolboy semi-finals the day after he won his British title. I was on Sky at like 12 at night, and I was boxing about 10 o'clock the next morning in Birmingham. I was knackered. I won as well, but he was my coach then.
Amazing.
So then you come in the gap. Were you doing any boxing training?
No, I started lifting weights.
Okay, right.
Started lifting weights, and then my diet was appalling. Like my diet was absolutely awful. Like I used to love Subway.
Shout out Anthony Go-Go.
Yeah. Shout out Anthony Go-Go, yeah. I wish I had one of them cards on 20 stone. But it built up to the point where I could polish 2-foot-long sandwiches.
That's mega. Can we get a couple? Can we get 2 feet of Subway?
Plug on it,
yeah. What fillings we getting though? Because that's crucial.
One would be a Subway melt.
Right.
And one would be a meatball marinara.
Old school,
the worst one as well.
Yeah, that's bad.
That's probably dirtiest sandwiches you could think
Literally,
of.
they are.
It's calorific.
Yeah. What sauce?
Southwest. just classic. Just OG Southwest.
2 feet of Subway. Could do them now, do you think?
Nah, no way. No. I'd probably struggle to do a foot long. Like, I look back at it and you think... I look back at it now and just think I'm disgusting.
So then you come... So there's no punching in there. So what's the first session back with Anthony in the gym and going, Ant, I want to punch again, mate? Like, what can we do?
I don't actually even know he was there. I think I just started going to the amateur club because obviously he's heavily involved in the amateur club as well, who I boxed for all the way, because the same man coached my dad, Anthony, and me, sort of Jimmy Lewis. Jimmy's still about now. He still gets down a little bit, but I remember just going in. I think he might have been surprised to see me in there. I was like, it's pretty obvious why I'm here. It's pretty obvious why I'm here.
I've just had 2 Subways.
Yeah. And then I just kept going and going and going, but boxing never left my mind. Like even when I was working on site, I still always manifested or thought like, I know I'm going to be a pro boxer at one point. And it's a proper weird feeling when it happened. Like I cried after my debut because it was like realising like a dream which I thought I'd always have, but then at one point it looked like I'd never get there. Like I'd never ever get there. Like, I couldn't go to the pub without someone saying, "Oh, you should be boxing," or I couldn't go to the game watching night. "Oh, why aren't you boxing? You're wasting it." Then when it finally happened, it was a strange feeling.
Do you have dreams and ambitions to become world champion like your brother did?
I believe everyone wants to win a world title, but I'm not just going to sit here and go, I'm going to win a world title at this weight. I want to win the British title outright. It's my dad's favourite belt in boxing. I've always wanted a British title. Anthony had it. It is a beautiful belt, isn't it? It is literally like a small ring magazine belt. And I just feel they're the best fights, like the best fights for the British title. And I think, I won't say disrespected because no one has disrespected it, but I think it gets bypassed a lot now. And I believe that's where little bits in boxing's going wrong. I believe if you look at yourself, Anthony, all the Smiths, they was British champions and he's had hard fights at the level to gain stripes. Everyone's now bypassing it and the international titles are there. It's a quicker way to a world title, but I believe he's all learned stripes in your hard fights for them titles, do you know, with the experience you're gaining, and then when something happened at world level, you won't be unstuck. So I'd love to go the domestic route, and then I'll take it from there. But I believe in my ability that I can do something in boxing. Like I said, I won't be here, but I'd love to win English, British and European title. I'd love to go the domestic route that all of you did.
How different is your style now, like William Crolla 2.0 compared to
when I was amateur? Do you know
like, you the same fighter?
No, I'm totally different.
Really,
I used to box like a shitbag as an amateur. Like computer scoring, I used to love computer scoring. I'd get up and then just run. Like I had a good right hand. I used to walk people onto the right and left foot. I had a tight guard, so I was good at computer scoring. And as boxing changed, I had to change a little bit. But then, as I matured, I got quite strong as well. So I started sitting on my shots a bit more, which I believe now you're seeing in the pro game that like. I probably should have always boxed like that, as it really suits me.
What were the first few sessions like with back with Anthony? So you've been down in the amateur club, you got shaking the rust off a bit, been like, right, I'm back in the sport. You go in the gym with him, like, what's he saying? Is he harsh to you? Is he like, fucking hell, you're still good, mate, you still got it? Or like, what's the messaging from him? He has always
said that to me. Like, I look at all the prospects now, he's always said you're just as good as him. Like, at the minute it might not seem it, but you are just as good as them, and that's the belief I've always had. Like I say, I wake up for training and I go as I'm one of the best prospects in the country. I don't go just to try and make up numbers. Like I go and I train, and in my head I am one of them, and I believe it's finally starting to show now. But it's just always drilled into me, like you have to have the self-belief that you are one of the best ones, otherwise it's not going to happen.
Yeah, because your brother, as you say, he went down that traditional route, and he had some wins and some losses at that domestic level. And there must have been periods where he, whether he admitted it or not, he dreamt of becoming a world champion. But whether he truly believed it or not, I'm not sure. But he got there, and he more than got there, didn't he? Like he more than achieved. So that's what would be great to see. Like you haven't got. You might not be 19 years of age coming off an Olympic Games. You've had years out of the gym, and now you're back. But it's having that proof in the pudding, seeing someone there who's achieved it, and actually it's my brother. Like, it's got to be
it is. Like, he
motivation.
Is what in some terms would say a massive overachiever in his career. Like I say, he lost to I don't want to use the term journeyman, but he lost to a journeyman early on in his career, then lost an English title eliminator, then won the English title, which I always give him props. I think it could be one of the hardest English title fights you could have. He had Andy Morris. That is a pretty naughty English title fight. So that's an hard English title fight. Andy had Kieran Farrell as well, which was another hard fight. He lost his British title, so just it was going good, it went bad again. And then obviously he had his break, getting used as an opponent against Gavin Rees, and then he got signed after that. So it is like a story so close to home. Like it's, no matter what's happening, you can burst through onto the scene, and that is the mentality I do go with.
Manchester, well, even just like the North was buzzing at that point. Like I seemed to be up there every other week for massive fights with him and the Smith brothers, like you say, and Terry Flanagan was champion and all that sort of stuff. Like, do you feel like there's an opportunity now to kind of reinvigorate it a bit? I
do, yeah. I believe Manchester's missing someone bad right now. In fact, the North's missing someone bad right now. Like you say, there'd be a decent show at the arena every, I won't say a few weeks, but a few months where it'd be hammered. There's no one at the minute, and I really believe I've got a fan-friendly style. I'm heavy-handed and I switch it, and I've got the second name. Like, I feel I've got all the tools at my feet to make that to become the next one from there. And if I don't, that's solely on me. I believe I've got every single tool to do it.
So you've been pro now, is it a little over a year or a little under a year?
A little under a year, yeah.
A little under months. A year, you're unbeaten, great knockout ratio. What's next for you?
Bursting onto the scene. I think it's that's what I want this year. I want recognition as a prospect. I remember seeing a little write-up in the Boxing News, the top finger prospects, like just little goals in my head. Like next year, I want to be on that list.
Okay.
Yeah. If I'm not, I won't be happy. But like this year, being recognised as an actual boxing talent and not just Anthony's brother, because I'm miles better than that. And I believe I can really do something. So that is my goal this year, to announce myself onto the boxing scene as a top prospect, regardless of the name, regardless of the, like, my record now is 5-0, 4 knockouts. Like, that's a good record, just regardless of the name. That's what I keep going on that. I feel like I've gone a bit under the radar, but now I'm ready to try and burst onto the scene.
Because we had Campbell Hatton on and obviously spoke about that whole thing of, like, just the pressure of the name, but then it also brings opportunities. Like, he had unbelievable opportunities because of his name, but it's like a, you know, it's kind of blessing and a curse. And it's not quite as extreme for you, but the fact we're in here talking about Anthony a lot goes to show, like, you have that pressure on you. Like, people going, oh shit, Anthony Crolla's brother, let's see if he's any good.
Yeah, no, it does. Like, obviously for, like, Eubank, Ben and Campbell, it's very different. Like, their dads are just superstars. And Anthony done very well, but I'm not in no delusion, it's not in that bracket. But yeah, it has presented me opportunities where I've got to fight on TV, and it's got to where I am now. And now, like I say, it's time to be recognised as a prospect. But I wouldn't have got all them TV things if it wasn't for the second name, so I'm very grateful for it. But I do like the added pressure. Like, I enjoy people expecting something of you, because I believe pressure, either there's two people, you either embrace it and take it and use it, or you shit yourself, and I'd never ever do the second one.
It feels like Anthony's kind of new as a trainer, but obviously you're saying that he's trained you since you was a kid, so he's been a trainer for a long time. But I think it might be just where he's become more of his full-time job, should we say, or first, like, his main job. What's it like in the gym? Like, what sort of training are you doing with him right now? Is that different from what it was before? Is he a new age sort of trainer?
In little bits, but he's got a very good boxing brain. Like, just like, sort of, I was touching on his style before. He wasn't the most exciting to watch, or there wasn't anything he done amazing, but he done everything well. Like, he used to have great feet. You just won't look at his style and watch him and think, oh, he's got great feet in. But if you actually slowed stuff down and watched him, his feet was great. His shot selection was great, and I think he should grind people down. But I think that's why, like, say, I'll use DeGale as an example. If you watch him, you think he's flashy, he's very talented. Whereas you look at Anthony, you wouldn't think he was. But his boxing brain is just as good. He's just didn't look it in the ring. And I've always thought he's been a great coach. Is the only thing I know. But I believe it's showing now. He's building a really good stable. The gym's flying, and I think in a few years they'll be one of the top coaches.
Rhiannon Dixon, that was first world champion. First world title fight. First
champion of any sort. Yeah. And they've done the full suite. Yeah. They've done the full suite. First champion of any, Commonwealth, European and world,
Might be a hard question to answer, but do you feel like he trains you different to everyone else? Are you exactly the same?
He's definitely harsher on me.
Is he? Yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely harsher on me. Like,
probably a good thing.
Yeah, it's a good thing. Like, I need it. He's definitely harsher on me. I think he'll admit that himself, but I don't get no special treatment. Like, if anything, I probably get treated the shit. Like, if I anything, I probably get least pads or something like that. But I think he's definitely the harshest on me.
Do you do a lot of pad work?
Not loads. Not loads of pads. I don't really like hitting pads. It hurts my hands. I don't actually love hitting loads of pads.
It's ideal for a boxer.
I love sparring. I just love sparring.
How much sparring do you do?
If he'd let me spar every session, I would spar every session, but he wouldn't, because it's puts quite a lot of miles on the clock, doesn't it? But, but
and what's your sparring like? Do you do technical sparring? We do
quite a lot.
Everything
we do quite a lot of technical sparring as well. Like, it's not just open, go and punch 10 bells out of each other. Like, it is thing, and I think that's where you learn most, when you're actually doing something, when you're active doing something.
And around the city, like, Anthony famously was one of the most popular guys. You know, he'd always be, you know, loads of mates and tickets and all that sort of stuff. It kind of feels like you're a few years on though. Do you know what I mean? So can you sort of piggyback that, or are those days gone and you've got to do your own thing now, or can you harness any of that? Because Campbell Hatton can't really harness it. It's too.
I hope I can. Yeah. I hope I can.
How do you go about doing that?
I'm trying to crack the code now, but I'm hoping I can piggyback anything out of that. Yeah. I'll take any help I can get, but that is the plan. But like I say, I feel like you've only just got to watch my style of fighting, and I believe you would become a fan. Like, it's pretty exciting. Like, it is quite an exciting style. Yeah.
Brilliant.
I remember him like bumping into him in Manchester on a morning of his own fight, dropping off tickets to someone. So what are you fucking doing? So they need the tickets.
I started doing his tickets towards the end. It was mental. It was mad. But I do the same thing now. It's just because you do what you know, don't you? Like the morning of my fight, I'm eating my breakfast. It took me 20 minutes to eat my porridge because people were just coming in the hotel reception. I was just standing up going to meet him. So yeah, I've took the good and the bad off him.
So you know the inner workings of it, of how to be a success and how to be a popular and an attraction.
Yeah, I know it's quite weird that he had such a big break, but I believe I know boxing just as good as anyone. The ins and outs, and then like there's no friends in boxing. Like it is what it is. Like you're useful until you're not useful anymore. Like I know all the hardships and the things because I've seen Anthony go through it all. So I believe it does set me in great stead for my career.
Yeah, well, you can get away with it at this stage as well.
Yeah.
Like when you're fighting for a world title, you don't want to be dishing out tickets between your porridge and that. But I was thinking, was you leading the charge in terms of recruiting support for your older brother, or was you just a touch too young? But maybe near the end of his career,
I was a good age for it. It used to exhaust me. Like, it used to exhaust me. Like it did. I remember at one point, like people would come in the hundreds, like they get 140s, and then I have to sit there counting out the 140s, and I think, oh shit, was the 100 there? I'm counting them again. I'm counting the same set of tickets about 5 times. Then someone would cancel, so I've got 140s now that I'm trying to shift again.
Yeah.
Then they'd win it back, but they want 10 more, or they'd ask for a certain block, and I think, oh my god, this is mad. But obviously, if support's supporting it, so you're trying to do the most you can do for anyone.
You want everyone to have a good night, so everyone sit together. That's annoying when you might have a perfect. Sometimes you've got a perfect 7 left in a row. So I'll have 7 tickets. You're like, oh, this is 7 by God. And then they want 6. You're like, we're not having 6. Yeah. You have 7 or 3. So I need to have at least a couple together for future reference. Yeah. Oh.
And you're off the back of big win. That must have been nice. I was watching it thinking, William's supposed to be coming in this week. If he loses, we're fucked.
Sure, what?
We ain't gonna see him.
Mad. I was more nervous about losing and not coming on here. Yeah, than losing because I have great self-belief. I wasn't even worried about my fight. I said it to someone. I went, I'm more nervous about going on that podcast. I went, if I lose, I don't get to go on it, and it's just a great opportunity. But no, I was thinking my mind last week. I was thinking the exact same thing. Yeah, that's funny.
Because we've done it before, haven't we? Where we've had people lined up and oh shit, what if they lose? We're gonna have to cancel it. Or when we had Harlem Eubank supposed to be coming in before the Ben Eubank fight got cancelled, and it was like, oh shit, well, he ain't boxed. Should we still get him in?
Yeah,
we did. It was good in the end. But yeah, thanks for keeping that up. We would have been stunned.
She's in my farts.
Yeah, comeback one. It's like, right, how are we going to rebuild?
She's in my farts.
Yeah, maybe that inspired the win. What's been your favourite? Like, those early fights? Like, you're boxing people who aren't as good as you, clearly. Like, that's normal. What's it been like? Like to be going in there and you're winning and you're just building. Like, what are the feelings like?
It was weird. Like, so after my debut, I remember I was fuming with performance. I actually got counted. Actually, I slipped and then. Steve, this was the only time I think Anthony's ever come across as nasty. He was going apeshit at Steve Gray, like for the full minute. I was just waiting for him to tell me something. And he was just arguing with Steve Gray in front of me. And then I was in my head. I was like, I need to win this round out. And I went out and tried stopping him, and I nearly did. But I remember after it, and I was like, I can't believe that's just happened. Like, I thought, that's the worst way a debut could have gone in a 4-rounder. I took a count.
It's risky though,
yeah,
isn't it?
It was.
Like,
it happened.
Before you know it, you're losing.
I'll have to try and find it. I'm sat on the floor, if you can. I'm sat on the floor looking at Steve Gray, telling him it's a slip as I'm on the way down. And he didn't stop counting. I was like, oh, what the fuck? He didn't stop counting. He got to 8, and I was like, you all right? I was like, what do you mean I'm all right? Yeah, of course I am. And then it's carried on. I got back to the car, and I thought, oh, fuck. Like, even just going through your head, I was thinking, can I still win it? Or even if I win this round, is it a draw? Yeah. But no, I ended up, I think it was 39-37.
Yeah.
And then I boxed.
So he gave you that round as well?
Yeah, he gave me that round as well, yeah.
4 rounds are dodgy.
And then I come in for my second fight, and it was Steve Gray, the ref again. And I wiped my feet, messing about, talking to him, and then I won in the first minute. And then I saw him Saturday actually, but yeah, it's been plain sailing. I'm on 4 stoppages in a row. It's going good.
Yeah. Don't get paid for overtime.
Nope.
No.
Don't fall over.
No, don't fall over. Well, you can't stop winning, but we've got a feature.
Have we got a feature there?
Yeah, and it's you against you.
Me v. Ooh.
Yeah. Ooh. Well, let's have a break first. You can go and like get wrapped up or whatever, and we'll come back and do the feature.
I'm George Groves. He's Deck. And if you haven't heard, the George Groves Boxing Club is going live and tickets are on sale right now.
Nice. Our first ever live event, George. Are we going to start off in a nice low-key venue?
Absolutely not. No. We are taking on the world famous Shepherd's Bush Empire, and it is Froch Groves 3. It is 10 years, Deck, since mine and Froch's fight at Wembley Stadium. So I've gone and got Mr. Froch to come down, all the way down to the Shepherd's Bush Empire, and we're going to tussle it out again in podcast form.
Nice. You could get the bus there again. Should we brainstorm a few other ideas?
There's going to be the feature, and it will be the best feature we've ever done.
Maybe you and Cole could have a duel.
We'll be crowdsourcing.
For the most
Mike
part.
Skinner's coming. He's crowd surfing. 50 Cent's going to buy the first 3 rows anyway.
I don't think we could promise this.
Froch Groves 3, a decade in the making. Tickets are on sale now. Listen to the George Groves Boxing Club podcast for all the details.
Right, boys, we're back. It's feature time. So every week we do a feature. We did one with your brother, and it was cool. It was one of our best ones we've ever done, I think.
It was
I think
really
it was
good.
underrated. I think it was underappreciated by the listeners.
It was on the flight. No, I think it was, yeah.
We did it on the way up
Did he
in
win?
the car. Did he win? It was just him against himself, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
Was it
which I
against
think
himself?
he
Yeah,
won.
and we played him like songs with nicknames in. He had to guess the boxer. It was just him, but we didn't put him against. But I'm pitting you two against each other today.
Let's do it.
Now the first one was called Fistful of Crollas.
Yep.
This has got nothing to do with the first quiz, but we thought, well, fuck it, we'll just call it, repurpose it. Fistful of Crollas 2.
Producer Steve wanted to call it
Crolls 2.
Crolls 2.
Like Trolls 2.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work. Sorry, Steve.
No, I like it.
Yeah, you like it?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe we call it Crolls 2.
Crolls 2.
I would Croll again or Croll with it.
Fistful
Anyway.
of Crawlers is a pretty good one. No,
Yeah,
that is, that's
thank
class.
you. That's what you come up with that, I think. Right, let's get this quiz up. Now, it's a quiz about boxing brothers,
Right.
right? Obviously, that's what we're talking about. There's 8 questions and a tiebreaker. Do you want to go, Will, as you're our guest, do you want to go first or second?
I'll go second.
I'll go first.
Pressure's on. Vitaly and Vladimir Klitschko.
Brothers.
Correct. Question 2. Are 2 of boxing's most famous brothers.
Yep.
But can you tell me which of the brothers had the highest knockout percentage?
Oh, surely.
It's 50-50.
got to be Vitaly.
Am I going to get the same question?
No, it doesn't get thrown
He got
over.
past that, yeah.
No, you got to go.
Is this a little trick question?
Oh, well,
you
listen.
think it's Vitaly, but it's actually Vlad.
It is, that's one of
Dummy.
them. It
I'm
is,
going
isn't it?
Vitaly, but it's Vlad.
So what's your answer?
Vitaly.
It is Vitaly.
Oh,
91.1%.
Yeah, he could whack.
He could whack.
And
He's
he,
exciting, wasn't he?
yeah.
Well, Vlad had a couple of losses, didn't he? So that would affect his KO rating.
3 losses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think
4.
Vitaly.
4 losses after the Joshua, yeah. He got stopped
Vitaly
by
lost twice. He lost to Lewis,
Lewis,
and then
yeah.
did he get disqualified or something? Anyway.
Fuck knows. Anyway, Vlad was 82.8, which is not to be sniffed at, but not quite in the 90s. Right.
No.
Which 4-weight world champion was trained by his older brother?
Ooh.
You set me up here.
Yeah, it's harsh that.
I
I think this little
Mikey
key-
Garcia?
Bosh, you got it. Mikey
spoke over
Garcia.
it.
And I think that is
that's 2-pointer. That should be.
yeah, let's give you 2 points for that.
Nice one.
I think that is the relationship that's closest to you and Anthony. It's one of them where people thought Robert Garcia was his dad because he was that much older.
The joke's mad, and it's a funny. The only reason I got that, Anthony boxed Lomachenko in LA, and I was in a burger shop. Robert Garcia was in there, and I was like, "Oh, I'm a big fan of Mike. You must be so proud of your son." And he was like,
You've dadded him off.
"Yeah, dadded him
Just
off."
like Boxing
yeah,
News did.
Yeah, dadded him off, and no, that's the only reason I got that right then.
What did he say?
He's like, "Hey man, what do you mean?"
He does speak that. He does. That was a good impression. Anyway, that's a good one. Mikey Garcia, yeah, is trained a 4-weight world champion trained by his older brother.
Yeah.
George, this is so annoying. Which British boxing brothers are known as the Hitman and the Assassin?
Oh, that's the Azim brothers.
That's the Azim brothers. I thought I might sneak that one in. Would you have got that?
Yeah, I would have at first. I thought he's going to be Hatton.
Yeah, I thought you might say that.
Hatton and Matthew. What was Matthew's name?
Magic.
Right. Who has had more fights, Sonny or Charlie Edwards? I'll give you a clue. There's one in it.
There's one.
There's one
fight
in it.
Charlie. Oh, it's
Charlie, 19-1. Sunny 20-1.
Is there? Ooh.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So what's that? You're winning, fuck knows. Anyway, you're up. Which British boxing brothers boxed Floyd Mayweather and Saul Canelo Alvarez between them?
I should definitely have gone first.
It's
These
between
were 3
them.
gimmies.
Yeah, easy one.
Yeah.
Between them, yeah.
What do you mean? They fought. Both brothers fought both guys.
They both. The family has boxed Mayweather and Canelo.
Oh well, that's Hattons then.
Lovely. Here we go. There's one for you. Which of the Smith brothers was the first to win a world title?
Liam.
Can you remember who he beat?
He was an artist. Something Thompson?
Yeah. He was an artist. Yeah. See, I'd forgotten this geezer's first name.
I remember really weird things. Like, my memory is mad. Like, I remember something stupid because of something stupid like that.
Yeah.
I remember he was an
artist. Yeah.
I don't know why.
What sort of artist? Knockout artist?
No, definitely not this night. Got stopped in the 7th.
Something Thompson.
Yeah, Apollo Thompson.
Apollo Thompson, yeah.
Remember that? He beat him for the vacant
the Manchester
WBO.
Arena, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Which brothers won gold medals at the 1976 Olympics in Montreal?
Brothers.
Yeah, both won gold. One would assume that's the only time that's ever happened.
Ooh, that's an
American.
I mean, I didn't say that, but they are, yes.
They must have been American. 76.
Yep. Maybe the greatest team of all time. Included Sugar Ray Leonard.
I thought it was... I know it is, but it's not going to get there.
I'll give you their nicknames. One was called Neon and one was called the Jinx.
Spinks.
Yeah, what are they called, the two of them?
Well, Neon is Leon Spinks.
Yes.
and it's Leon Spinks and would it be Michael?
Yes, Michael Spinks. Very good.
Couldn't work out whether one was dad, uncle, cousin, brother. There's 3 as well. Who am I missing? Who's the other Spinks?
Well, only 2 of them won the gold. You're maybe thinking of Terry.
Was he one called
He
Corey
was English.
English?
Who?
Corey Spinks.
Was he
Was he the nephew?
Was he probably nephew? He's the dad.
Related.
Right, last one. In 1951, In 1951, Dick Turpin became the first black fighter to win the British title. But what was the name of his younger brother who pulled off one of the biggest upsets in history 3 years later? Who was Dick Turpin's brother? Know it?
Yeah.
I'm just going to go with something mad like Randy.
Yes, Randy Turpin. Yeah, he beat Sugar Ray Robinson at Earls Court.
Yeah.
I think that's won you, but should we do a tiebreaker?
Yeah.
Yeah, why the fuck not? How many fights, and we'll just do, you can both come up with a number. How many fights have the Charlo twins had between them?
Amateur and pro?
Amateur and pro,
just
pro. It's actually quite high. I remember looking like they're both, like, I'm going to go...
Yeah, don't show your work, because he's going to nick it.
Yeah. 64.
Oh, yeah, I was going to go 62.
71.
Ah,
George nicks it. Unlucky, the winning streak's over. Oh well,
done.
You can't come on the pod next week now. That's a shame. But anyway, you're stomping on. So what's the plan now? Like you said on the broadcast, you're like, if you don't want me now, if I can't get a contract off the back of that, when am I ever going to get it? What's the plan? Like what's the hope?
Just let that sit for a bit and let it soak.
Yeah.
And then hopefully it worked. If not, then I'll just keep grinding. I'll just keep my head on the straight and narrow, and you'll see me on the TV somehow. Like, I believe I'm ready for that now.
So tell us what it's like for listeners who won't know. Loads of people within boxing won't know. You want a contract now, so you want to be tied and affiliated to a promoter and a channel, and you want to be busy. Yeah, and you're basically ready to commit. Yeah,
that's like people know, like the small hall shows. It's a lot different. Like, it's just a lot harder. It's just a lot harder, and I believe I'm good enough to be on them big shows. Like not just off my second name now. I believe I am good enough to be on there, and that's where I want to be. I want to gain new fans. I want to fight on there. I want to entertain people, and I believe that is the next step for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anthony had a long affiliation with Eddie in a Matchroom, didn't he? That was those big nights were with him.
Yeah, he did.
So there is a relationship there, family relationship, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. No, yeah, I've always wanted it, and like I say, I always believe in the thing, but I want it as bit of confidence back in for myself now. Like it's my time now. It's nothing to do with Anthony, even though he's my coach and he's heavily involved. Like it's my time.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like it's not saying you'd only get looked after because of your last name. Just how boxing works, you know.
And he'll be going. Oh, the Crollas, that was good. That made me a few quid back in the day.
No, he wouldn't. If you had no value for him, he wouldn't. And not throwing Eddie under the bus. That's all.
That's promoter.
But it will be like sometimes if you're in a gym and like half the gym assigned to one stable, you're like, we'll have him. So I get it. But it's always that. Do you ever get that feeling of, wow, fuck, what if I sign a 3-year deal and I'm like, it's the right deal? What if it's not? What if I don't get busy enough? What if they sign the next hot prospect who's the same weight as me? Like, so it's hard because you want that commitment. You want that commitment from someone established as well, because then that's faith in you.
Yeah, it is.
But at the same time, you do, like you say, when you go the traditional route, it serves its purpose, and you learn to cut your teeth that way. But also you do on this route you're on now, like going through the small hall setup.
Yeah, it is. I believe as a sibling, most people thought I'd just get signed, and it wasn't the case. I jumped on the small hall for 2 fights, and I jumped back on the big stage last fight, and I'm hoping it should sell and it should stay there now.
Because you hopped about a bit, didn't you, early on? You're boxing all over the place, show wise and promotion wise.
I signed with Haymaker, who had a Satanta deal, Satanta Sports, which didn't last long. And then because I was with them and they wasn't the major promoter, we went about. We boxed on Maloney shows and Hennessy shows. I remember Matchroom cards. We moved around, but it was weird. I'd committed to Haymaker, but then we didn't. And then when that became a management deal, I didn't want to commit to anyone else. It was always a bit risky, So I've sort of flitted and farted about, and then signed with Warren after winning the British title. So I'd already got to like
a good level.
Yeah. With a bit of momentum behind me, but it is hard. It's hard. And we had Brandon Scott on here earlier. We said he's trying to get his contract. Eddie, where's my contract?
He got it.
He did. He got it. And you have to, Campbell Hattons, we say like he's got his dad's name, but his debut is with Under the Spotlights. Pressure on him straight away, and then the criticism comes with it. He didn't have a chance to cut his teeth on small hall. And now he's been, matched, not super hard, but he's matched hard.
I thought he done great the other week, by the way. I thought Campbell. I thought he left everything in there. I thought that's all you can ask.
That was a great fight.
Exactly.
But I remember seeing the criticism after it, and I just thought, like, how use grown men at home. So you've asked for a lad to do one thing, step up an opponent, he's done it, and now you're giving him shit for it. It just doesn't really make sense.
Yeah. That comes with the territory, doesn't it? The name. It does, because he's had that the whole time, and you're getting it to an extent, and you will, especially if you get a deal and you're on TV every other month.
Yeah, it is. But I believe I'd thrive off it.
Yeah. So in an ideal world, what's the next 12 months look like? Like how many fights are you looking for? Like what sort of pace?
Busy. Well, I've just started my 6-round journey. I only went 1 round, but a few sixes. Hopefully get some rounds in. Well, we keep blasting them out. But step ups, and then next year 10 round, and then whichever domestic title comes with it. Hopefully the English title, but whichever one comes, I won't turn any of them down.
You got your eye on anyone in and around your weight?
Not really, no. But I won't shy away from fighting anyone. Like, it is what it is. I believe, like I said before, that's where you earn your stripes. Go 50-50 dust-ups, and they're the ones I want to be involved in. I believe that's how you build your fan base. Like, no one wants just watch you bowl someone over. Yeah. So no, I'd fight anyone.
Have you had a chance to spar any of the champions in your division?
Not yet, but I think Joe, even the last few weeks, the 2 good amateurs, the Crofts, have just joined our gym. I've been getting great rounds in with them, and it's just a bit of confirmation in my head, like at the level I feel like I can always perform at. I've been having great rounds with them, and that's been a massive confidence boost for me in the last few weeks as well.
Do you feel like you mentioned there was a bit of a sort of target on your back as an amateur, and people were like, I hope he loses and whatnot? Do you feel like you still got it now? You got it a bit? Yeah,
I'll definitely, like say, if I do get a TV, someone will definitely be calling me out, because it's their chance for the thing. But I welcome that. Like, I welcome it. Like, go for it. Like, I welcome that.
Brilliant.
We need a tune, George.
We do.
We do.
So we ask every guest, William, to give us their we ask every guest to give us their ringwalk track that they want to add to our playlist on Spotify. So this could be a track that you would come out to now, you have done before, maybe one for next year or the next fight.
Can't be $1 million Bill by Whitney Houston.
$1 Million Bill.
It's already on there.
Been taken. I can't remember had that one.
Yeah, it's on there though.
Yeah. So
it's your old man. So what are you going for?
I'll go for it for my debut, Crazy Crazy Nights by Kiss.
Oh, nice. That's definitely not on there.
no.
Is that crazy? That's a tune.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
I need
really
one
is.
to stick.
Yeah.
So you
think of that one? Have you not had it since
I've not
the
had
debut?
it since. I've had a different song every fight, but it's getting harder and harder to pick one. I had Shook Ones by Mobb Deep.
Oh yeah. So did Thingy the other day as well.
That's where I got it from.
Matey Boy box Ben Whittaker.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, did you?
That's where I got it from. I thought that was a banger.
Yeah.
I thought,
What was his name? Leon Willings.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was. He done great as
He's
well.
from up north as well.
Yeah, Dan, I thought that was a banger.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pinch that. But I need one that sticks. But Crazy Crazy Nights, I do like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
It's
Make
got to
it
be
stick.
an old song is the one. I've got this theory that people who pick current songs lose. People don't pick current songs and then win a fight.
Well, look at my career, it's working. I've not
Yeah,
picked
exactly.
a current song yet.
Yeah, I mean, you can't stop winning. But if you pick a current song, it's like you're not really invested. You're just going, what's on the radio now? I'll just pick that.
Yeah,
So you
there's no
not
force
taking the
going
fight.
into
No.
it, yeah.
Whereas you're taking it seriously, going back to the Kiss back catalogue. That he must be looking to win.
Because then, if I'm thinking, if he's listening to Kiss, he's going back and watching.
Not Kiss FM.
No, no, not Kiss FM. Or maybe you might be listening to Kiss FM. They might have. I think they've got like a Club Classics on the Friday night or something. But I think he's going back and he's watching Leonard. He's going back and he's watching Duran. You know, he's old school.
And Alice Cooper.
He's not watching the currents. He's watching the previous best.
Yeah. Well, that's on the playlist now, isn't it? And it's definitely not on there yet. In fact, it's the first Kiss tune on that playlist. That's true, isn't it? It has to be, surely, unless you snuck any.
No, I
on.
started on. You had to clarify first Kiss tune.
Oh, I see. As in,
first
like, just
kiss
the
on the
first
pod.
kiss. Yeah, no. William Crolla's in the club. That's a sibling episode. Done and dusted, and we can't wait to see what the next year brings. And maybe one day headline at the Manchester Arena.
That's the dream.
That's the dream, and and it'll be a bit different to when you were there on the piss.
Yeah, but if when I was there on the piss, I actually done something to be proud of. Yeah, not just done a double pint with like a record time. or something.
That's something to be proud of, mate. If you say it right now on this pod, we will claim it later when it actually happens. So thanks so much for coming on, man. It's a great episode.
Let's go.
Thanks for having me.
Let's get down Subway.
Eat fresh.
Let's get. See you later.